With a net worth of $4.2 billion, this guy knows what he's doing. He even said that he has around $1 billion invested in Amazon stock, so that's where a quarter of his wealth has gone. As of the rest of it, Mark Cuban used it to buy his very own basketball team and a number of companies. And today, we'll be looking at how Mark Cuban spends his billions. Let's dive right in, people. How he made his wealth. If you think his entrepreneur days started in college, you're wrong. In fact, from an early age, Mark was selling trash bags and newspapers door to door. The first business he ever started was a business with postage stamps, when he bought one for only 25 cents and then sold it for $50. A light bulb went off in his head. Soon the neighbors were giving him $500 to buy and sell postage stamps. After successfully running a bar and attending college at Indiana University in Bloomington, which was the most successful bar in town, he got a degree from college and moved to Dallas. There, Mark decided to start his very own company, Micro Solutions. After 7 years of hard work and no vacations, his software company offering computer solutions to businesses sold for $6 million. He then went to American Airlines and bought a lifetime pass. For 5 years, he partied like a frat boy and went to as many countries as he could. After 5 years, he decided that he had enough of partying and started another company. It was titled AudioNet, and it was the first one to offer live streaming of football games. Later, they renamed the company Broadcast.com and sold it to Yahoo for $5.6 billion. And that's when Cuban made it to the BBC, the Billionaire Boys Club, where he spends it. And the now billionaire Mark Cuban had cash to burn. Even though he had a rough start, he says that he is the luckiest guy in the world. That's what he owns his success. So what is the first thing he splurged money on? It was a basketball team. That's right, Mark finally got his prized possession as a billionaire. He owned his very own basketball team. In the year 2000, Cuban became a majority shareholder in the Dallas Mavericks. Now, you do understand that the team was pretty beat up at the time. They weren't winning any trophies, and the NBA was basically scrubbing the floor with them. That all changed when Mark took over. He wanted to change the losing mindset of these players into a winning one. To do that, he immediately renovated the locker rooms, gave each and every player his very own personal space in the locker room, and smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, he actually bought a team jet. The team was flying first class with legroom for the players. Mind you, there are guys that are 7 feet tall, so you could say it was a pretty big plane. With his marketing savvy and his speak my mind attitude, Mark Cuban made more than a few scandals the first year of owning the team. He was charged numerous fines by the NBA, but he still managed to market the team to the best of his ability. And people loved it. He was the billionaire that spoke his mind no matter what anyone else thought about it. He was in the audience swearing and cursing at the refs, and he said he would always stand up for his team. This got people talking, and the Mavs games were flooded with people. The team was worth around $50 million at the time, and they had one of the best winning streaks in the season. When the Mavericks finally made it to the finals in 2006, they lost the finale. Mark Cuban was livid. Steam was coming out of his ears, he was screaming, shouting, and his dream of turning the Mavericks into champions had failed. He locked himself in the house and didn't go out for 3 weeks. In the next 5 years, Mark Cuban completely reinvented the team. A new coach and new players were the norm, and in 2011, they made it to the finals. But now Cuban was sitting completely silent behind the bench. The Mavs won, and as he was holding the trophy, you could hear the crowds chanting, "Thank you, Mark." How often do you hear that? All the fines he's paid for his team. As we said, he had to pay quite a big chunk of his earnings for the fines the NBA imposed on him for bad behavior. All of that screaming and shouting didn't go unnoticed, and he had to pay 7 fines to the NBA. The total amount that Mark has had to shell out equaled more than $500,000. Guess speaking your mind in a rash and uncontrollable manner is expensive, huh, Mark? Oh, breaking news! As of February 2018, there are records that Mark Cuban has had to pay a whopping $2.6 million for his crazy shouting comments during the games, and here we're thinking that $500,000 is a lot. Houses. When he moved his second company, Mark finally made a decision to buy his dream house. He didn't want to move out of Dallas, so he purchased a 24,000 square foot mansion in town for $17.6 million. His house had a tennis court, 10 bedrooms, 16 bathrooms, a swimming pool, a guest house, and sits on a 7-acre property, so you can say he has quite a bit of room to practice his shoots. Although he has been living in this mansion with his family and 3 kids, Mark bought another home in 2018, and it was $19 million vacation villa in Laguna Beach. Why did he pay $19 million for it? Because the house comes with 6 bedrooms and a wall that disappears top open up to the outdoor pool. Talk about a view. Cars. And when it comes to cars, Mark isn't a cheapskate. He wants the best that money can buy, and he wants it now. Even though you didn't own a car that cost more than $200 until he was 25, currently he spends quite a lot on his rides. His family gets to ride in a Mercedes-Benz S600 Pullman Guard, and one time he went on a reality TV show just so he could find his 1955 Ford Custom Line, which was restored by Grease Monkey Garage. Oh, and at one point in his life, he owned a Fiat X1/9. Jets. Another thing that Mark purchased after selling Broadcast.com to Yahoo was a private jet. He bought the giant Gulfstream 5 that sent him back around for $40 million at the time. But does he regret it? Heck no. He said that the time is the only asset that we don't have, and it's so very precious. And this jet has saved him so much of that precious asset. He never looked back since, not even once. Oh, and fun fact about this jet, it was purchased online, and to this day it holds the Guinness World Record for the biggest purchase ever conducted over the internet. So he didn't even go and talk to the sales guy. Shark Tank Investments. Now, aside from his successful business ventures, most of us know him for the smash hit TV show for investors, Shark Tank. There is basically no one better on the show, and here are just some of the investments he's made on the show. He invested in Tower Paddle Boards in 2012. The initial investment was $150,000 for 30% equity in the company. He then invested another $300,000 down the line, and now the company has generated $30 million in sales in 2018. The second big company Cuban was a 17.5% shareholder was Nuts & More. His initial investment in 2013 was $125,000, and now this company has made $30 million in sales. Next on the list was Game Day Couture, which meant that Cuban would be investing $100,000 in this woman's sports apparel brand. And now that investment has made a profit as the company reposted sales volume of $12 million. Some of the interesting investments that Mark made were $10,000 to I Want to Draw a Cat for You, and also a $500,000 for a Siloramic app. The man bought out the entire company in a heartbeat. Charities. With all that money comes a lot more money, but Mark wasn't the one to shy away from giving a hefty amount to his favorite charities. Some of the charities that received his contribution are Autism Speaks, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, Christopher and Diana Reeve Foundation, as well as the Elton John AIDS Foundation. One of the biggest contributions, however, Mark made to Indiana University at Bloomington. He donated $5 million to the school, and the money went to the Mark Cuban Center for Sports Media and Technology. A little earlier, in 2003, Mark founded the Fallen Patriot Fund, destined to help families of soldiers that died in the Iraq War. And when rumors started circling that the toxic work environment for women in the Mavericks organization, the owner pledged to donate $10 million to women causes. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, what would you want if you had the wealth of Mark Cuban? You can tell us in the comment section below. But if you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.